you target groups. If we didn't get a group label, in this case, the label is single group, but it might have been just given as group bullseye 1, 2, 3, 85. We would wait for the AIC to give that. If there's just us fighters, we can do our own labeling. Again, today we'll just be spawning a single group, so it'll probably be single group all day. And I know that sounds like a lot. I know you're tired, so just the takeaway is don't worry too much about it.
That's more than okay.
Yeah, okay, cool. Radar essay gained, so if I didn't have it and I got it, then I would say what I got after, but we'll skip through this. Dropping a group, I think you understand the concept here. If we didn't want to continue with our attack, we drop it, reset. This is for training. I don't really need you to say it today. I just want to know if you're in a tactical situation, you would normally just say clean.
Okay.
We wouldn't say meld. We wouldn't say meld in combat because it's assumed you'll target, and if you don't target, you need to call clean. You know what I mean? It's just an extra step that's not needed. We use it in training just to get people's head in the game. I don't really think you need to do it, so just call clean if you come up to 40 miles and call clean. We'll look at the timeline and go
Could
over
you provide me a clear explanation? What do you mean when I say clean? In what purpose? In what case?
So the brevity of clean is that you do not have radar SA. So your radar system. So you'll have the contact due to data link usually. But as you approach a certain distance, if you cannot target that jet, we need to know, right? Because you won't be able to shoot on timeline. The clean brevity is to say, hey, I don't have radar SA. I would tell my lead first, so I might, if I'm flying as a two-ship, you can see here, clean single group. The lead's going to fire back with his BRA, or their BRA rather, of that group, and then you would then, drive your radar towards that in some beams. Does that all make sense?
Yeah. Cool. I just wanted to know that. Okay, so it meant when I don't have radar contact, or basically SA. I don't know what the term is, but I don't have the SA to know where this guy is, basically.
Yeah, so just to kind of
the radar doesn't have, doesn't pick it up.
So yeah, normally we would have contacts on our radar that are fed to us through the data link, right?
Yeah.
We only say that the radar has SA when it has an actual track file.
Yeah.
It builds that. I know you're familiar with the radar. So when you get a brick and you're able to lock onto it and get that radar looking at it and focused on it, you now have radar SA.
Yeah.
If you're approaching your timeline where you need to shoot, meld or sort and shoot, and you don't have that, and you've only got about 10 seconds before your shot, you need to be communicating that before that 10 seconds because you won't have enough time to shoot on timeline. Does that all make sense? So
yeah.
The
main
goal,
basically, Judy. It's another word, but that's they're just usually communicated between the GC.
No. Negative with the Judy. Judy is like, shut up. I don't need to hear from you. I'm assuming my I guess in the context of, like, when you read the manual, sometimes it'll say, like, the fueler, like, I've taken over intercept control, you'll say Judy. The Navy doesn't use Judy because it really just means shut up. Like, I don't need to hear from you.
Yeah, what I understand from Judy in the context I've used it, and I've heard how people use it, is when you are being guided to a target, and then you all of a sudden have at least a sensor contact. You will tell them Judy by telling them that, okay, I have that visually, basically, or I'm not visually, but under control. But maybe it's a nicer way to say shut up. I don't know.
So no, you're not wrong. But the tactical range, the AIC will imply a Judy. Will kind of quiet down. And for us, like I said, that's at 55 miles. I know. I'm gonna play a tape. It'll make a little more sense then. But anyway, long story short, to go back to what we were talking about, the clean brevity is about your radar system on the jet.
Yeah.
That's really what I want to get across. Yeah. Meld is the same thing because that's what we're doing. We're melding the off-bore or the off-site data with our radar, and that's what that meld term means. So, for example, you have a feed from the AIC of a jet at a distance, when your radar has that same jet in its system as a track file, you are now melded. You've melded that contact with now a track file. And that's really what those terms refer to. And clean just means that you might still have the contact, but you do not have the radar SA. Clear as mud? Cool. All right. And again, this doesn't really happen very often where you won't have radar SA. DCS is pretty reliable right now. So we tend to get to contacts really far out. So you sorted. You've got a brick. You now, you go into raid mode. You sort per your side, and you're coming up to the shot range. Now, for us, our shot range is no later than for a SAR-2 threat, which is like a MiG-29 Sahara, is going to be about 35 miles. It'll be closer for lesser threats, obviously. We'll take a look. Same, yeah. That's the same thing we were working with last year. Although there. Yeah. So the 35 will want to shoot by then. Everything else happens before, and it's just a Fox 3 call. In training, we give the crank. Today, I'll let you say it. We will assume that when I'll brief it again, but for us, our kind of standard is to crank away as Hornets. The Tomcats, they crank together. They do a lot more mutual visual support than we do. Yeah, we'll turn in. Yeah, and I talked to. I think if we've talked about this lesson many times before, so it kind of looks like this overall. And then the center of fight is somewhere here. Cool. We'll go right along then. So you will call your skate and then your active, or what happened with your missile, like if it's Pitbull. I'm sure you've noticed that we have the lost queue again when the missile goes Pitbull for whatever reason. So if it likes to flash lost and then give you a TTI, all of that is weird. But and then the group, or I think this is wrong. Actually, I might need to fix this. But give the man and then the group, or the sort. So because if you communicate it at the Fox 3, it gets lost in the time. Like if you say Pitbull here, everyone on the frequency knows that north person has a missile on them. So if they start maneuvering as an AIC, I can say, okay, I can expect a faded or vanished based on what happened. And that north man, if they don't die, they may become an arm. So that's it's more enhancing opposed to saying it up here where, yeah, okay, you told me who you sorted. But let's say there's another 4 jets or 3 jets that all fire at the same time. It'll get lost between the support and the Pitbull. I hope that makes sense. So if we keep it short here, it's not amplifying. We know that a single group has been targeted, but now Joker 1-1 maybe they did a 2-ship, like a Fox 3 2-ship. Pitbull on both. That's Pitbull, and then whatever I got Pitbull on. Yeah, it's more enhancing for SA opposed to if I set it up here and then again here. It just seems a little more frivolous to say it up here. That's my only rebuttal to that. So yeah. All right. So if you didn't shoot, you would just go out in the direction that we agreed upon. So for example, you were clean at your shot range, and maybe I did a 2-ship Fox 3 2-ship. You would still fly your timeline. You would just at the decision range you'd head out without an app. What's that? So the LAR, the LAR is broken. Or I shouldn't say it's broken in the jet, but let's put it this way. If we want to talk about LAR, let me draw a picture. Or actually, better, I have a nice image for LAR. Right. We would assume that the software would give us an in-LAR queue on a jet that's 12,000, or far away and just flying really fast, right? Good. I'm right on the slide I wanted. So here's our jet, right? We've got the AIM 120 in DCS. Let me get my pen open here. So 120. See, you're gonna have to excuse my writing, bud. I'm using my mouse. 120C. What's the max range that this missile will fly, roughly? Do you have any idea?
You mean like
the 120C? Let's say it's not targeting anything. It's just gonna fly out. How far can it go with some energy and still maneuver?
Still maneuver, not so much. Maybe 50 miles or about. No, that's 50. Just
50 miles is the answer when we tested it last summer. It'll go 50 miles, and if you're shooting something big at 50 miles, it'll probably connect, especially if you're on those high and fast parameters, right?
Like
that's a lot. That's a lot of distance. Now the real missile may not do that, but in DCS that's what we got. If we shot a really big target, we threw it 50 miles, it was not maneuvering, it would likely hit the target. But we don't care about this so much. We want something with, a good percentage kill, right? We want something with a PK. If we start to do some math, I don't know if you remember, there's an Air Force slide that talks about all the, short skate.
I
nice little picture. So we try to say, okay, well, if the jets, if we're loaded up, 2 tanks, 602, we need to turn, so we need to think about those considerations, all that stuff, whatever. But I still need to support a missile. What is the optimal range for that? Well, we've kind of decided it's about 35, right?
And then you're out by 23 or 25. Right.
But this 35 assumes a lot, right? We assume that the Bandit is high, is fast, and that they're not going to maneuver too much. They're not gonna maneuver too much. So we teach it as if we're setting our own LAR. The computer is not able to do this for us. Like in the Viper, for example, they have a LAR. It's much more reliable and it displays the information a little better. So just to your question, or to your point, this number comes from testing internally with DCS. It may have gone down recently, especially with the AI changes, but the idea is still behind it, and what we've seen reliably, we're still above 50% in our deployment, but that 35 miles, we are able to support and beat any missile. The R-77 is the primary threat on this timeline. Now, if I'm fighting another, a peer like an ST-10, I can't use 35 because the ST-10 will kill me before I'm able to leave, and after that missile goes active. So I'll start using proper terms, but we have a range where we need to support our missile for it to go active. So the A-pole, or the active position, the time it takes to go active, if we were fighting something with an ST-10 like the JF-17, we would get fucked shooting at 35 most times, because the ST-10, very fast missile, doesn't go very high. So we need to think about shooting further away, but we can reliably do it at 40 and be able to still support turnout, go away. Does all that make sense, or am I going too far into the weeds there?
No. A question: you said the AI changed. What changes have they done? I mean, basically, what's the implication?
So last year, I don't know if you recall, and this is anecdotal. Let me say this.
I thought you were talking reference to something to do with 2.9.
No, not so much the 2.9, but the AI for about 6 or 7 months has been smarter. With the way they. The other thing is that they have a sixth sense for the missile, so they know exactly where the missile is. And I've seen this because they'll roll perfectly as it approaches their jet. So,
and sometimes they do like the maneuver defense before even the missile is pitbull.
Yeah, these kind of things. So it's a little frustrating for us because we want to see those kills, but at the same time, whatever. Like it kind of accounts for maybe hardware problems that would be in the game or in a real missile. Sometimes missiles just don't work. So whatever. On that note, we need to assume a lot for our timeline, and it's against specifically the R-77 and the R-23ET or ER, excuse me. so those long-range semi-active missiles and the R-77 active radar missile, we beat that with that 35-mile shot. If we go under that, although there is some slop, we risk getting shot ourselves before we are able to get to that decision range and support. There are, like you said, you've been exploring with different flow. I don't know if you remember from Ghost Syndicate, but we had two other flow types, which was called Juke and I called it sled. It was Hopper was just calling it long skate, but it was different
where you basically assess if you are gonna go again or not.
Well, more to the point, it was instead of skating, we would shoot. We would do our active missile defense or crank, okay, and with the Juke at 28 nautical miles. We also are descending here, so
to 25,000 at least.
Yeah, we would do a reversal and crank, and then at our decision range, we would then continue until and assess whatever the bandit did. So let's say we supported our missile, it went active. The bandit usually maneuvers. So let's say that they turn this way, we would just continue to press. The idea being that you never lose radar contact. You always have them in your radar antenna range.
Yeah, exactly. This is what I understood it by as well.
Yeah. This also defeats the R-77, excuse me, and the R-27ER. We don't usually go further than I think 15K. I can't remember. I haven't looked at this timeline in a while. The other one was that we shoot at 35. We still do our crank, and then at 28, we'll do a really hard descent. So we'll go from maybe 10 degrees nose down in this one to 30, and we'll also be buster the whole time. And what we do is wherever the enemy cranked into, so let's say the enemy shot, enemy's pointed this way, they crank this way, we would then crank into their crank. And again, the goal is to keep them in our radar and beat anything that they shot. So their missile will... Yeah, I called it a sled because you're basically on like you're going downhill the whole time, and there's not a lot of movement. So you're in a Nordic country, you know all about sliding and slipping. So mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and the the Phoenix is a big refrigerator, is what we refer to it here. It doesn't have like Tomcats will complain that it's not very good. Well, it's not meant to be good because it's big. Like it's simple physics. It's a big missile. So exactly what you said. I was doing something similar where I would actually I would tell my wingman to brake, and then we would turn back into each other, trying just to reel those Tomcats in until we got into shot range. And then I would use something like the sled. I would still stay high for a lot of this, so I would go below 25,000 again, but very similar idea. We don't have a published technique, but it's something we'll work on next year as we. Yeah. Okay. Good. Okay, yeah, and that's really so. I'll just say like that's good stuff. I'm on board with that kind of stuff. However, in 17, our primary tactic is just going to be skating. It's not over like yeah. Hmm. Got you. Yeah, so in the short, like in the middle of the timeline, a short skate range, there's different things we'll do. This is a video of the sled, or sorry, the juke example. Um, the missile gets quote unquote close, and I sorry it's not a attack view, so I can't change the view here. But you can see he's fighting a JF-17. He did the reversal, and then he comes back around for the cram. I'm not really sure why he goes nose on here, but um, long story short, that's an example of just someone doing it. A short skate, he shot short, and he's gonna get the kill here. But all this timeline stuff, it's just about beating the other guy, right? So what we've done is we considered the weapon, that the radar, the weapon that they have, and we built the timeline on that. The last consideration is our maneuverability and our active pull. So what does it take for our missile to go active? And then we built in a bit of slop. That's where that 35 miles comes from. And for the sake of the rest of the brief, because we're just kind of shooting the shit here too, so I'm going to bring up that timeline real quick. I know you said you have it memorized, but where are we at here? Wasn't this one? It must have been in the mission. Oh no, there it is. So if you look at our SOP, I believe the threats are in the attack portion of the SOP. So when we talk about the SAR-2 threat, we're talking about the 27 ER, so that long range active radar, and then the R77, which is the active radar one. Um, it's a low active radar threat, but it still gets the job. So our no later than shot range, just to kind of bring it back to the meld sort stuff. We try to commit no later than 65, and tack range, which is really just about switching from that big RWS scan, where we're basically providing redundancy to the AIC. We're going to go from a big scan to our targeting, and that's going to happen around 55. And then here, this has now changed because we're able to meld pretty far out now. So I mean, we still use it as kind of the baseline. If you are not melded by 45, you need to bring it back to the brief. You need to be calling clean at this point internally in the fight, so that you can start getting your radar focused on where the target. Yep. Re-attack range, but yeah, it's the same idea. So you would this 16, if you've skated, if the bandit or sorry the hostile is closer than 16, that means that you now can't execute a hard turn. Oops. Yeah, you'll have a hard time getting a hard turn and then being able to shoot in time. Um, the yeah. Yeah, I mean the stern wes, that's the stern weapon engagement zone. So if they're 7 miles, their missile will likely kill you if they fire and they're behind you. As we know in the Hornet, especially when we're a little draggy, like if and this also assumes that we're high as well. So as we do a lot of this, when we do this part, um, we end up usually 25K and below. Um, yeah, yeah, that's the Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah. Yeah. So that's it. Like when we're shooting, and that kind of goes back to your original question. Like when we're shooting, we want to be in the space where the missile does its best work, right? Uh, so in the missile wants to be above 30,000, and we want to be fast to help that its life out. For us, though, as fighter jets, we want to be below 25K. So that's why when we start getting in here, we start to trade off the height, and because now we've given away distance. Um, we can be below 25K. We can, if we're really low, we're going to have a hard time. Unless we're approaching these kind of distances, but I think you understand what I'm getting at here. Was mostly like the jet is good down here, the missile's good up here. So we don't want to be up here all the time if we're defending, because that's where the missile is at home, right? We don't want to be in the missile's home. We want it in our home. We want to have the advantage there. Is a better way to say that. Yeah, yeah, go. Okay, that's very kind. That's very kind of you to say. Yeah, it's kind of boring. Yeah, I mean, on that note, like that's it. Like I like the dynamic environment of BVR. Um, I think what kind of inspired me was what I learned at 8, and I'm glad that I'm able to inspire others in that. And I appreciate that. I'm just gonna grab a quick glass of water. Hang on a second. You got me laughing to myself now. All right. So on that, yeah, on that note of inspiration and BVR, I feel like I'm repeating myself to you, Lika. So if you want to move on, we can move on. But I'm happy just to talk about shit too. Um, Excellent. All right. So so you're not really the expectation. I mostly just wanted to go over the comms. That's what that was really it, and then we got into talking about everything. That when I'm talking with a new person, I would take my time to go through these things. Really take my time, like I did, like we did at Ghost Syndicate as well. Um, but on that note, like this is what you need to know for today's flight. If you're really off on this stuff, then I might say, hey, we'll come back and do it again. But I expect you to be just fine for today's flight. We will our kind of plan of attack is we will skate. We will we'll crank away. We will skate, and we will reattack in. We'll plan bonsai if we're having a lot of fun, and we're getting light on weight. But we don't really want to go to the bonsai. We want to kill stuff with the Fox 3. We want to be safe. The WS3 includes a BFM portion. I was going to skip it because I know we've already done BFM together. I remember a situation with a MiG where we were talking about different. I know you know this stuff. The only thing we look for in WS is being able to recognize the flow. So, and then there's the ACM portion, which is where you're talking about going to the bonsai, you're talking about who's engaged, who's free.
Yeah.
And if I remember correctly, you did really well in our 2v1 sets, because I don't remember who you flew with, but
I don't know the guy's name, but yeah, it was nervous first time, but tally high and
yeah, you just talk a little bit between
yeah.
yourself. Yeah, that's it. That's it. I was starting on the left in those sets.
Yeah.
It was a simulated Fox 2 for the first shot.
Yeah.
The lead would call, tally 1, break right, whatever.
Yeah.
That stuff we try to do with new people, but like we're coming to the end of deployment, we'll be going into FRS and SFARP in the winter and spring, so you will get to experience the kind of beginnings again anyway.
Okay.
And we do that even as seasoned pilots. Like we all go through FRS and SFARP is where the kind of bread and butter is. At that time as well, like if you are really enjoying yourself in the group, you will definitely have the opportunity to become an instructor, because I know you know this stuff. I've heard you talk about it too. Like it's I think you'd be a great teacher too. So if you want to continue on that route, you'd be open to do that as well, because I know it can get boring if you're always doing these beginning flights. Like it was the same for me when I joined the group. I was like, guys, I know this better than you. Which was not what I said, but that's the way I felt. Like anyway, long story short, I'll bring it back to this real quick. The only thing we're looking for is the in calls after you skate, and that's it, man. Just fly the jet you know how to fly. The experience with AIC, hopefully, like if we get you on a deployment mission, you'll get to hear it. We'll get to do some air. We just came out of like 2 weeks of doing a ton of air to air, so it's kind of quieted down. Last night there wasn't even any air to air threat.
I saw Harker coming back with all of his air to air missiles.
Yeah, I had taken off, but I had a connection error as I dropped my connection drop. This is the first time. It's the first time it happened. I ended up leading the flight because Delta was out. Delta went out on a tech issue as well, and then as we were coming feet dry coming into the area, because we were sweeping for victory, he's like, I can't hear you, you're cutting out, and I'm like, what the fuck, everything's fine on my end, and all of a sudden I get a connection timeout, so my internet must have taken a dump. But anyway, so at the merge, tally 1, bonsai, whatever, all this is set on primary, so on the AIC frequency. Engaged, if you're very confident, you would be offensive. If you fucked up, then you would have it. You're not neutral in the merge. You're defensive, and you might say high, low, stuff like this. I think you remember all that. Let's say we kill everything. The way I like the SOP describes an ops check. The way I like to do it is tell my wingman, hey, if you hear me give my state like on aux, if you hear me go 11 is 202 8.9, I expect you just to echo it back, but with your state, of course.
Yeah, I have one thing to say about, since you're people. Talking on aux in this group doesn't, I think, in my opinion, is not the best option, because when you are sending or communicating using the aux, and someone think that you're just finish your sentence and he start talking back, you could talk over each other, and the other person doesn't hear you. Neither do you hear that he is still talking.
So,
which is not a mids problem, but it's a
it's a group problem, especially this group, and I've brought it up in debrief several times.
Yeah.
So the kind of bad habit is to do what I'm doing now, which is just go on to run on sentences on the radio.
Yeah.
If you're talking any more than about 5 seconds, you need to break.
No, I'm talking, first flight with Delta, we talked about everything, and this was annoying because sometimes I said something, oh really, and when I released the button, he was still talking, so and he didn't hear my oh really, so that was kind of annoying. And a couple of times I said, what did you say again? I accidentally talked while you were talking.
So yeah, look at his call sign is freak, right? There is a reason for it, and I'm trying to be nice because I like Delta a lot. He's a good kid, but he has some bad habits, and that's one of them. Is just to run on the frequency.
Okay. No, I'm not saying it as a bad thing. I think we could. I'm talking also a lot, but it's annoying when you cannot say something back, because you may be saying, oh yeah, I already know that, and he's still talking because he didn't hear me say, oh, I already know that.
Yeah,
because he doesn't keep holding the button.
Yeah,
and
I will say that
it's not about him. It's everyone could be in that situation.
It's a very I'll just say, like, it's common in a lot of DCS communities, 100%. And that's it. I don't want to make it sound like Delta's a problem child, but he is kind of a problem.
Okay.
And I'll just put it politely.
I forgot to say that I'm recording this. For the purpose of, I wanna maybe share it with someone.
Yeah, with Delta, that's okay. He already knows my feelings for the most part, but we all have our quirks, and I think that it's just a bad habit, and he's not the only one that does it in the group. There are a few others here that do it. Bring it up in the debrief, is what I would say. Whether you're using aux or mids, we just got everyone back on aux because, there's not really any sim considerations, but the real world considerations is aux is there for other flights to reach us as well. And we could go into, say, yeah, that was it. We talked about it a couple months ago. We were going through our SOP, and I gave the reasons why I prefer aux, and the reason why is mostly just like that's how it works in the real world. We would encrypt as well more often, but we don't, just because encryption's kind of wonky in the game. It works fine in the Hornet, apparently not the same with the Tomcat. It's a subject we'll approach again maybe in the near future, but the long of it is that I made an argument to come back to aux. We had been using mids a lot for our in-flight, but what was happening is that people weren't tuning their aux, and that kind of led to some communication problems. Sometimes you want to reach someone off the primary frequency. Now we use Pry as a Hornet net, so we'll use 34. We'll set 34 as a net, and then whatever. For our section, you'll notice our KBCs usually have a 100 series channel, like 101, 102, 103, depending on the call sign you're using of the day. And that'll be kind of your section frequency, or in-flight, intra-flight extra frequency. So if you wanted 3 and 4 wanted to talk on it, they could between themselves, and it wouldn't be a big issue. 1 and 2 can turn that frequency down if they needed. That kind of stuff. So yeah, we definitely have lots of frequencies available to us. I'll just say the standard for the wing is to, anytime we're doing intra-flight stuff, it's on aux or the second radio. No, I think, like I said, it's going to be a simulated mission, so we'll take off from the carrier. We'll be on deck. We'll just launch. We won't do a cycle. We won't do a full event, but we'll take off. Okay. Yeah, I'll talk about the admin stuff in a bit, but that's pretty much it. We'll fly this. We'll do a couple attacks. We'll see how it goes. And when we come back, I'll have you lead us into the stack, and then we'll, if that's okay with you, you'll just lead us into a case 1. I'll follow you around. Signals Charlie right away, so just do a circle, and then we'll commence at the next position 3. And I'm just looking to make sure that you have all that down, and I'm confident you do. And then we'll land, we'll debrief, and talk about any points. And I'll go over the training document. I don't know if you've seen it, but I'm sure someone mentioned it. Yeah, yeah. I'm not too concerned with that. I wanted to look at this here. Hang on, let me pull it up on my screen. So here's our roster right now. You can see you're in the 106. I'm confident in giving you these 3 today, as long as everything goes as planned. I don't know. What did you do with Delta? Okay. Okay. Okay, yeah, you had a nice landing. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So this one, this is dumb bombs. This is smart bombs. This is BFM, ACM. This is BVR. You'll get all 3 of these today, or all 4 of these today. As we're going to skip the dumb and the smart. I know you know how to do it. This one, I'd like to go up and do some ACM, but we won't have that opportunity as we're only 2 jets. Maybe if we go to the merge, I know that I've taught it to you. I expect you to be just fine. Like, yeah, and again, like I'm being a little lenient as well because we're at the end of deployment. You're going to end up doing this stuff in 2 months again anyway, as an instructor or as a student again. I don't really know what the plan is for other pilots in FRS, but so if there's any bugs, we'll sort it out in 2 months. I want to get you up and flying on the mission. Is the bottom line. That's really what this is about. But again, I'm not the CO here, so I told him my opinion, and Harker has his opinion too, and so does Delta. And Delta's obviously I'm going to leave it to Delta, but I'm going to give you the qualified. And the only thing we'll ask from you is let's do a carrier call all together because that's team building more than anything. You know, you get the yeah. Oh, okay. Okay. I'm also available Monday, so if maybe if Delta has time then or other people, we just want to get a few people up and flying together more than anything. Um, Yeah, I'm not too concerned about you to be honest. You're gonna fly it today, and if unless I see something big, that's why you're gonna have all 3 of these. This is the night one. Even I didn't have this, and they just gave me they gave me my stripes for the 34 because it's like it's a long mission to fly all of this at once, but I'm pretty confident in these 4 already. So, all right.
Or server?
It'll be training. I'm going to talk about the flight here in a moment, so we can go on here. I'll make a KBC just so it's there. Just give me a sec here. 34, 106, and 106. All right. Never mind. There it goes. So the SFARP will be on NTTR, so we'll still be on Marianas for FRS and part of SFARP, and then we go to NTTR for some of the other training. I don't know the exact thing that we have planned there, but we just had a staff meeting on the timeline. I'll just say, like, if you're looking to teach, it'll be on Marianas, and if you're looking to just lay low until that time, just I don't know, wait for NTTR. That's fine with me too, but it should be interesting because I plan on putting a lot of work into the NTTR map.
Also,
really good mission.
No, not they have that, but they also have good kneeboard, like charts basically for all of these.
Yeah, I mean, as you can see, I've got Navigraph, so I can always get the latest. But there's a couple groups have done a few, and the one did I bookmark it here?
Do you guys ever use the program flight combat flight or something?
Yeah. I don't have it, but I know people that use it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why do you ask?
No, because cvw-17, they were like keen to get it and use it, and I was like, no, I don't want to, because I downloaded the free version. It was too complicated.
I mean, once you know how it works, it's a really nice tool. But as you can see here, like this is from VNow. They also have a nice little website they put together.
They have like not only the field and stuff. They already have also all this
airspace.
And all the how to be inbound through all the all the stars, all the SIDS basically.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, it's publicly available, especially since we're talking civil aviation. I don't know how far down the road we'll go with some of that stuff. I know that like we have Davide here, who is a real airline pilot. I like simulating that stuff because I did it in VATSIM for a while. But what is it? KLAS will give me no. What the heck?
Just
that's flights. That's why. I was on air flights. That's why. But if I open the charts here and go to SIDS, like
Well, is
see
this
all the
Nellis Air Base?
It's Las Vegas, which is this. They share the same airspace, right?
Okay.
So they have very similar. But yeah, there of course is the Fitter 4 or Fitter 5, I think it is now, and Nellis is K. What is Nellis? K, not Ains. That's the Indian Springs, but K. Kins is Creech. What is Nellis's code? I can't think of it off the top of my head.
I don't remember either.
Yeah, that's it. I'm like, fuck, what is now? It should be here actually on one of these charts. But anyway, long story short, the departures, arrivals, they share the same airspace, so they're very similar. But yeah, you would come off and whatever.
Yeah,
I've seen them. I know what you're talking
like
about.
there's one called Flex departure,
Yeah,
and then they
the
have
Flex
city, night city something.
There's Sin City, or was Sin City. It might have changed its name. There's the ones I remember from a couple of years ago are Fitter, Sin City, Acton, Dream, Departure.
Yeah, Dream.
Dream is a GPS waypoint in the middle of kind of on your way up to the range past Area 51.
Yeah.
And then that whole region has a big airspace. So go to Sky Vector. I think that'll.
Here, if you wanna look at my screen for just a second, only a second.
Yeah, I know. This thing is like I know what you're talking. I just couldn't remember.
What I'm trying to say is, if you want, you can use them. That's what I'm trying to say. And if they are to use to you, then I can send it.
Yeah, I have all these. Some of them are. They put their own border on them, but they're from a manual that's publicly available.
Yeah.
So I will say just hang on to them. Like we might use part of them.
Yeah, this is the corridor. They used it basically.
Yeah, Mint and Apex. Yeah, and that's it in the Sally corridor. Yeah, it's all stuff. It's all stuff I've seen in the past. Yeah, it's. I think it's great that they have it all together. That's the thing, is like gathering that stuff and then choosing whether you're going to use it or not is something else. But all right, Jay. Only like tiny admin considerations that are outside of the scope of the flight is just call signs in the server. It's just going to be VFA 106 and then a pipe or the vertical line and then your name, Lika. And then when we're on missions, it'll be usually your VCS. So in our case, it would be RN11, your board number, and then your name. That's for deployment only, but we're in the training server just for Airboss sake.
All right, so say again now. VFA.
So, it's going to be VFA 106 space pipe or the vertical line, and then your name.
Is usually no, let's see.
If you want an example, you can look at the.
I have it.
Okay, you can look at the Greenie board channel. You see everyone's the way they. Their name.
Yeah, I think. But is it like it's otherwise it doesn't work, the Airbus?
No, it's just about being on the same page. That's really it. Okay. It's a discipline thing. Like it's in deployment, it's important for us because of the AIC is going to see. We've had for whatever it's one of those little things. Like it's not hard, but we need people to do it. So I try to instill that early on. So please have VFA 106 and pipe your name, and that's it. So for the loadout though, yeah, that works. Yeah, it should be VFA dash 106. Or
and then cool. Now I just check the Greenie board. That's just to make sure.
Yeah. Check the Greenie board. You'll see someone there flew with their old call sign. Like it'll update based on whatever you flew, but it's not a big deal. It's more about just the discipline of making sure your call sign is correct for a server. No, you use the F10 menu. So you'll use the F10 Airboss option, and then it'll be start a case 1.
Okay.
And then you would do F3 for request marshal.
Okay.
And then that'll pick us up. It'll create it. It'll create a chickle zone so that when we approach position 3 in the stack, he's going to say you're cleared for case 1 a bunch of times, but he'll tell you to proceed initial. If he doesn't, when you come around to position 3 and you want to commence, you would just go to the menu and go request commence.
Okay. If he doesn't tell me to commence.
Yeah, don't worry too much about it. I'll take care of that stuff for us.
Perfect.
The only thing we got to worry about is creating a section in our flight.
Yeah. All right. Can I run to the bathroom, or are we? With the plan?
Give me 5 minutes to finish the card. We'll go through the admin of the flight real quick, and then that'll be it. So go ahead, take your time. So let me know. Let me know when you're back. I need to look at that comm card. Good stuff. All right. I want to. I just haven't gotten them from him yet because he has some really nice screen ones. If you, that would be appreciated. I talked to him about it at one point, and he was like, "Yeah, I'll send them to you," and then I forgot to ask for them again. So yeah, that's it.
I myself have created a really nice HUD mode.
Okay.
And I can send it to you before you start the game, so you can use it. But before I do, I'm gonna show it to you.
Yeah, sure. Just go ahead and stream your screen. Where are we at here with my trim calculator? So when you flew with Delta, you just did some tax stuff? You didn't refuel anything? Excuse me.
No, we didn't.
Like that?
We didn't do air-to-air refueling.
Okay. I know you know how to do it, but we might hit the tanker today
sure,
as well.
Sure.
As long as you get the time.
Yeah, I have the time. Today is Friday. The only thing that's gonna, I'm very tired, but usually when I sit in front of a PC and I sit in front of a Hornet or inside the Hornet, I end up sleeping like 2 a.m.
Yeah, I have a really bad, I'm bad for evenings as well. Like once, it doesn't happen as much anymore, but yeah, I get home, I was doing 16-hour days for a bit. I get home, I just couldn't sleep because I was like, I get into geeking about something as such, but
yeah.
1, 2, 3, 8. I think it's gonna be the same number. 34,000. Yeah, 15. True. All right, let me look at your screen.
And I have a solution for the the darkness of the screen. So I sent him my mods for that. So he didn't have to. Did you hear what I said, or was the transmission wasn't sent?
I heard what you said. Go ahead. Sorry, I'm a little confused what you mean by that.
No, I helped Harker because he himself got the mods.
Oh yeah, I saw you guys all in the room together the other day.
Yeah, I sent him my mod for the MIP because he just got it, and basically the MIP have very dark screens unless you have a fix for that. So. And I helped him with that, and I told him, "Do you have mods?" And then he said, "Yeah, I have a bunch of mods." Yeah, well, I told him, "Send them to me," and he just did. So yeah, this is I chose this mission for a specific reason. It's because it's not day, not night. It's in between. So what I like about this HUD mode is basically it's if you overdo it, it will be more like this, which is something not so often seen, and also the lines are not so, you know, they doesn't look painted.
Yeah, it looks very crisp, I think, is what I'm noticing.
Yeah,
so very...
this is the night mode, so when I'm maxing out the brightness in the night, they look like this, and if I go day, it will be like overdone, but not everything will be overdone. Like these lines here will be more neutral. So this I have actually, because I like this HUD mode so much, and when he sent me his files, I noticed that his file, one of his file had already this file. So if I knew if I would put it, they will override my settings. So I, you know, just merged my file with his file. So this is the one I'm using. If you want, I can send it to you. And this is basically his mods. So this is like the SA. And yeah, there is a couple of different.
Yeah, he's got some colorization on the radar attack page as well. I think that's a little different. No, it's all good stuff. Send it over. I'll try it out on today's flight if I have a problem. Watch it break everything.
No, I've sent it to a couple of friends and they reported no issue. But
cool,
do you have OVGME, right?
I do, yeah. So if it's set for that, perfect. Does it go into the core or does it go into save games?
No, it will penetrate the core, not only go to the core.
Okay, penetrate the core. Got you. Stop games. All right, so I'll quickly talk about the flight again because we did talk about a lot of stuff. So the admin side, we'll take off case 1. We'll do a Covey launch, so you can join on the way out. We'll do standard case 1, so you know still take your cutaway, and then come back in. And after that, when we fly out, we'll head towards ACTA. If I see a tanker, we'll top up on gas. I can't remember the training mission, so you'll have to excuse me on that. We might grab some gas first because we're only single line. We'll decide on deck. Yeah, we'll take off. We'll head out. As we're driving out, we'll get up to 14,000 feet or so. As we approach ACTA, we'll fence in. So the way that sounds like is, like I said, we'll be flying cruise for that first portion. When I say standby fence in, you're just going to be quiet and do all your fence checks. You know, set up your weapon, shut off the lights. Make sure you're tucked away for the air-to-air engagements. When you hear me say, you know, Roman 1-1 fenced in, and then my fuel state, you're just going to echo that if you're fenced in. That's it. That's all. That's the way the fence in works.
Yeah, I did it with Delta.
Right. The only difference is when I say standby fence in, I'll give a reference heading. We are going to go into a defensive spread. So take a 1 mile spread and go up or down just a little bit, and normally, like like if we were doing a full GX with an items check, that allows us to see each other and then exercise those 2 maneuvers for the G-warm. But we're not going to do the G-warm, and we're not going to do an items check. But yeah, the main thing I want you to remember is when you hear standby fence in and with the reference heading, just take a cutaway 10 degrees. I'm going to take a cutaway, and we'll open up to about 1 mile spread. You can expect the yardstick to be up at that point as well. Before that, it may not be up. So if you save your yardstick sour until we're fenced in, is I guess what I'm trying to say.
All right.
We'll drive into ACTA as a defensive spread. I'll spawn in a group. I will do the commit calls as if there's an AIC there. Once I say on aux, deploy, I want you to go to a sensor spread. So 5 miles spread, whatever side you're on at that point. We will attack the targets. We'll do all the comms. The only thing you're expected to say is, clean if you're clean, Fox 3 when you Fox 3, and call your skate and what you shot at. So Joker Roman 1-2, skate west, Pitbull, and the group and the sort that you did. And that's really going to be it for the BVR portion. You do all that on timeline. I'll call it success based on fuel. Maybe we'll do a couple of them. If we're short on gas and time, we'll just head back to the boat. We'll fence out as we leave ACTA. The fence out is just going to be standby fence out. safety everything. Set yourself up for approaching the carrier, and you'll also collapse back into a cruise. I won't ask for it because that's how I like to do it on combat. I just assume my wingman knows where he needs to be. So on the fence out, go back to cruise. On the fence in, defensive spread. We'll go back to the boat. We'll switch lead. So you'll take over his lead. I'll follow you into the stack. We'll do a lap. We'll recover, and we'll debrief. Is there any questions about any of that admin stuff?
No, nothing.
Cool. I know you know how to fly the jet, so I don't have anything else for you. Negative. I am not.
A lot of pictures.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and these pictures.
I hope they were safe pictures.
Yeah. Just pictures of the DDI. Unfortunately,
okay,
nothing.
Kind of nothing incriminating. Huh?
No.
That's kind of weird. There's the KBC. I don't know if you saw me going through my images. Like, I don't know what happened, but at some point, like, an anime comic slide got into my kneeboards, and now I see it. It just makes me laugh, so I left it in there.
Yeah, that's good.
I
still want to know which program do you use to paint and to draw on the.
It's I actually, when I switched to Windows 11, they have something similar, but it's called LightScribe, I believe. You're talking about this thing. You're talking about this thing, right? Yeah. So it doesn't quite work the same as it does on Windows 10, unfortunately. But yeah, I had to come back to it. It's such a good tool.
Yeah.
Let me see.
Is it like purchasable or downloadable? Just
it's free. It's free to use. My friend.
LightScribe.
Lightshot, excuse me, is the name. Lightshot is the name of the app. Let me give you a link.
I already have the link. I just go.
You already have it? Okay. Yeah, it's just a pink. It's a pink feather. Exactly. Haven't noticed any problems. They got a few other pieces of software, but yeah, great tool. Yeah, great tool. That's the one. Yeah. I've used a couple. And Windows 11 does have its own screenshot, but this is better. You'll have to disable Windows. You might need to disable sending in Windows 11 to have it work reliably, because sometimes 11 will just take over. But Google how to do that, and you should be able to get. I
will Google Lightshot Windows 11 and see.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure. Anyway, all right, cool. Cool. All right, give me a couple minutes to do that. Sure. I need to start up VR2. All right, helmet's charged. That's good. All right. Sorry about that. Just driving my microphone into the face. Okay, it's starting up. And why didn't that download? Maybe it did. Let me check.
Make a right turn and prepare to take off behind Leadhead. Follow him up on his left wing.
And you said it's OVGME enabled.
Yeah.
And it does not need to go in core. It just goes in save games, right?
No, it will go to core.
Core, okay, because I have two settings, one for core, one for...
Yeah. Because they will alter, like, the core files, because...
makes sense, that's what I assumed.
Yeah.
So let me extract all. Path is too long. What kind of viruses are you sending me here?
Does it say it's a virus? No, he have named everything, like what this folder do. You have, like, named them basically. And I also have full screen. How do you call it? Full screen night vision with the perfect clarity. I didn't send it because I thought you probably have your own solution for that.
Well, I fly VR, so Even night vision just changed recently. I'm able to see under the goggles.
All right. Okay. No, I have this. You can see the screens perfectly good in night vision. So
okay.
This is the reason I don't know if you saw my. It's this. Look, you can watch my case 3 video. If you like the night vision there, I can send it to you. It's the same.
Okay, I'll do that. All right. What did I just do to myself? My God, all those folders. Yeah, 7-zip had no problem opening your shit. So, where are we at? Where do I haven't had to add anything to OVG Mini in a while, so I was like, where did I put my OVG Mini stuff again? OVG Mini. Hello. And import mods.
I just put them inside the folder basically. I don't import anything. You just open because you have a folder which you have called something, and then OVGME will check that folder for whatever mods you have, and then just put just copy all the stuff from the zip folder and put it inside your mods folder, and then you open the program and just enable it.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing, sir. I just
okay. I thought you said something about import mods from using OVGME to import stuff.
Yeah, I was thinking I could do it this way, but I didn't. I just copied paste into the folder that I have set for OVGME, like you described.
Yeah.
All right, that should be good. Try to refresh that. Oh, there it is. Okay, I was in the wrong one. All right, yes. Enable selected. Overlapped file, yes.
Which mod is it that you have which will override?
Probably, I have the CF18. There's a guy who does like a Canadian mod on the IFE.
Okay.
EI, the IFEI.
Yeah, I think it will override the fonts in that mod basically.
Yeah, and that's what the CF18 one is. So it makes it look like an alpha version of the jet.
Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen that mod.
Yeah, I kind of like it. I kind of like the way it looks anyway, even though it doesn't look like an alpha, but it looks better than the
real one. Okay, I should try it out. The thing is I could maybe merge it because sometimes it will give you the name of what this line is used for. So like the HUD states it's the purpose for the HUD basically. But I've seen the EFIE or whatever how it spells. I can take a look at it if you like this mods he had created. I can take a look if I can merge it basically.
I wouldn't sweat. I'm gonna see what's going on here with the night stuff. It's just I just wanted to say I liked his mod. That was it.
Yeah.
All right, so I think I'm squared away. I need another minute to start up, but we're going to start on the carrier. I don't know what's even there for slots. If you've got DCS open, let me know if you don't see any slots there.
No, there is. I've been there previously, yeah.
Perfect. All right. So did you want the KBC I made, or you're
Yes,
good?
please.
Yes, please, he says. All right, no problem.
Yeah. Look, if you want, I will obviously need at least my modex and my our yardstick and but other than that the loadout you could just read them out to me, or if you want to tell me everything like while we're in the jet, but I don't want to burden you, so maybe it's easier to just send it.
I realized the only thing I didn't do was send you the KBC, so cool. It's there. The loadout, we're just going to do 602 with the center line.
Okay.
So inner pylons for the missiles. And yeah, the rest of the stuff that is there, so you'll see the yardstick. And
cool.
Yeah, it is 48 past the hour, so expect to check in on Ox in about 10 minutes. How's that sound?
Cool. Yeah, sounds perfect.
All right, and don't forget. Oh, one thing I didn't talk about is we'll do an alpha check the bullseye on deck, but
Yeah,
that'll
cool.
happen after we do the comm check. So make sure you set that up.
Yeah, sure.
Cool. All right, I'm gonna mute myself here. If you got something, shout at me here. But I'm gonna mute myself here. I'll see you in 10 minutes on deck.
See you in 10.
Let's keep it tight, Enfield 1-1.
Flight controls. Flight controls. Altitude. Altitude. Roll left, roll left. Flight controls. Flight controls.
Request rearming. Copy. Rearming complete. Request rearming. Copy. Rearming complete.
Roman 1, flight standby, check in on Hogs. Roman 1-1.
2.
Okay, Roman 1 has a bent MPCD, otherwise good jet ready for taxi.
What do you mean bent?
Means one of those add-ons I just added killed my MPCD. I don't have it.
Alright, okay. Maybe there's something you had, like previous mod, basically. Alright, I hope if you want you can restart the game and remove those. Or maybe you had something else which, you know, it's fighting the other mods.
Yeah, I'll investigate later. I'd rather just get up and go. I don't need all 3 screens. I'll be okay with 2.
Alright, 2 is also green jet.
Okay, flight standby, Alpha check bullseye. Alpha check bullseye 29 or 6 for 134.
Chief, remove the wheel chocks.
Copy. Wheel chocks are now removed.
And just let me know when you're in tension.
Wilco. Is now ready in intention.
Okay, we'll salute at 45 seconds on the minute.
Copy that. And settled. Do you guys have lights on after takeoff from the boat? In daytime operation?
I'm simulating as if we're not on deployment. On deployment, we just leave them off all the time.
Oh, alright, okay, so you see difference between the case of deployment and training, basically.
Yeah, I'll put the beacon on when we launch, and that's pretty much it.
Confirm. Can imagine how irritated you are at the moment with no MPCD. I would.
To be honest, not a big deal. Flight push button 9 on prime. Roman 1-1.
Roman 1-2.
Guam Center, Roman 1, Flight 2 Hornets, off USS ship, direct Acta 5.
Joining with Fast Eagle 1-2, Fast Eagle 1-2, we are joined now, sir.
Control identity. Control.
Clear. There's 913 and the clear and the blind rather, switching to Oakland Center 2905. 285.4.
There's a bugger at the moment where friendly contacts might pop out of existence, basically data link contacts. I don't know if you have noticed it since the last update.
Yeah, I think some of the tankers now have tracks, or rather track files, so they're also ghosting.
Okay, okay.
Good morning, Magic 1-1, flight of 2, departing Fast Eagle 1-1, climbing to flight level 260. 40. Eagle 1-1 is a single on a vector 210 for the 1.
Yeah, it looks like we had a tanker up here, Rudolph track. I'm going to see if I can't find him on the radio.
Center, Fast Eagle 11 is a single flight level 260 on a vector 210 for USS ship. 118 from Fast Eagle 11 looking switch beeper. Switch to 6.
And we'll level out at Angel 17.
Beaver Control, Fast Eagle 11, single flight level 260 for Union Control.
Eagle 11, Fast Eagle 11, Beaver Control, Roger, altimeter 29996.
Fast Eagle 11, 2996. Eagle 11, sweet loud.
Confirm tanker is at 25 miles, Bra 155 approximately, or is he somewhere else?
I think that's the one.
Yeah, cool.
Keep coming left. Just gonna leave the throttles in, accelerate 400.
Fast Eagle 11, prevent service to 2325 Alpha 3 Delta.
Fast Eagle 11.
Fast Eagle 11,
Flight push button 13 on Brad.
2335 Alpha 3 Delta 5050.
Roman 1.
Roman 1-2.
Texaco 11, Roman 1, flight 2 Hornets. We are 20 miles for left observation. For the refuel, the way we'll do it is I'll move to starboard, pre-contact on the right-hand side, and then you can take the left. Once you get a hose, I'll call for a hose and we'll refuel as such.
Is this a one-time thing, or is it always the case?
This is how I always do it. It depends on who's on the tanker, though. If there is traffic on the tanker, we will form up on the left and proceed as hoses become available. But where it's just me and you, I will start right so that you do not have to cross under me.
Copy.
Okay, slowing down. Okay, when we get to 1 mile, you can expect me to come up Angels 18 and slow for the intercept. We'll maintain 100 knots closer until then. Sorry, that was a little sporty. He turned right where I needed him to.
Don't worry about it, just do as you wish. I'll follow along. I think you're flying like a gentleman. I'm not used to that.
Sorry, what was that last? Flying like a...
Gentleman.
Oh. Alright, currently 1 mile coming up off the gas. Arco 1-1, Joker is 1 mile trail, left fops.
This guy flies really slow.
I mean, he's in the window for the Hornet. Why you guys do something faster at 66?
No, I think about the F-14. They don't like to fly this slow. The 66 did it at 299 knots.
And Roman 1-1's moving starboard, pre-contact. Fuck you, Air Force. Every time.
Yeah, so I'm contacting him through the AI right now. What was his call sign again? Was it Texaco? I'm asking because I'm gonna first use my vocal first.
Yeah, Texaco. Don't worry about saying all the stuff, just do the AI thing, I guess.
Alright.
Texaco 1112. Request rejoin.
1-2, Texaco 1-1. Proceed to pre-contact at 18,000 at 250. Moving to the left side for the left hose.
Ready pre-contact.
Cleared contact.
Ready pre-contact.
Cleared contact. Contact. You're taking fuel. Contact. You're taking fuel. One thing I like about the cvw-17 is their call signs. They have like Wolf, Viking, and Howler, and such stuff. Much cooler names than Roman. Maybe it's just my preference.
That's all good. We use Smoke, I think is the coolest one we got with the 34.
Alright.
But we're, at 106 is an FRS squadron break.
Yeah.
And Empire.
Yeah.
We can use whatever we want in the future, though.
Yeah. Texaco 1-1, Roman 1-2, top off, switching right observation. Right, visual on you. I am going back. So yeah, sliding forward, doing right, his right wing.
Okay, 1-1's holding starboard side until 1-2 is in position.
Roman 1-2 established left right observation.
Roman 1-1's moving starboard observation. Alright, sir, you've got the lead for now, so go ahead and take us away from here, just off to the south.
Copy, off to the south. And I am leveling out to wings level here, and increasing speed and climbing.
Texaco 1, Roman 1 is leaving to the south and above. Flight switch button 5 on prime. Roman 1-1.
Roman 1-2. I am coming. I forgot the term in English, but yeah, I'm keeping this altitude for now, and you have lead.
One's got lead on the right. Roman flight reference 180. Let's accelerate 350.
Roman 1-2.
Roman, stand by fencing. One's resuming 182. One fenced in, 12.5.
1-2 fenced in, 12.5.
Get 2, I want you to take a little step up or down, you decide. Reference Angels 20.
2 is descending to 19,500.
Roman, in place left, 360. Okay, for all TAC turns on training, we'll execute on your call. So when I say in place left, when you say 2, we execute.
Yeah, I know. I just put in something on the table. Yeah, Roman 1-2.
Sorry.
Is currently blind. See you. No, see you.
Okay, I'm visual. You're 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. A little.
Confirm 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock? I'm.
Yeah, I see you now. 9 o'clock. Yeah, visual. A question we didn't end up asking is that we do correct the 1 mile, I mean, if it's 1.3 or 1.4 after we are, you know, what was the term? Center? No, re-center? Something like that.
Okay, so we're defensive spread. I'm looking for you to be somewhere between 0.7 and 0.4. You should also be stepped up or down.
Yeah.
For your question, I'm not really sure what you mean. Did I answer it?
Yeah, there is, I think, reset or something. Yeah, that's reset. Yeah, that's the term I was looking for, basically.
Yeah, so on the picture, the reset call is to reestablish cap. For the formation, we would maintain whatever the last formation we went into. So in that case, sensor spread 5 miles.
Yeah, I was thinking if let's say we ended up 2 miles, so instead of 0.7, you know, or more than 1.4, so that will also be called. What was the term now again? I said. This is now when it kicks in that the tiredness will come in. You know, I start forgetting and stuff.
No problem. So right now we are defensive spread. You have some wiggle room there on the formation, but you should be spread around 1 mile.
Yeah.
When we deploy, we will go to a 5-mile, what's called sensor spread. We will maintain that until we fence out.
Yeah.
We'll do a couple more turns here and then we'll start some attack. Roman, tack right, 090.
Roman 12.
Almost got you.
You guys say nose on, right?
I figured since we were visual, you would recognize the geometry.
Yeah, I do, but the thing is, I heard the Delta say we always say nose on. That's why I was waiting for it.
So, yeah, we'll talk about it in the debrief. To execute and then do it as you see it visually. The 14 the nose on call because we passed behind. It's a little hard to see.
Yeah.
Debrief up. Let's reset the formation. Reference 090. I'm going to pinch left 070.
Copy, I'm pinching right 100.
Yeah, so for the next tack turn, if you're okay with that, just do it visually. If you want the nose on, I'll say nose on.
No, that's okay. I've never heard the term. Yeah, it's like when you are training, if someone doesn't know what to look for, then we use the term nose on so they can figure out something to measure it by, basically.
One's resume, 090.
Yeah.
I'm just going to slow it down for the regional, and you can expect another right-hand turn.
Copy that. Yeah, I'm going left 080 because now we are closing in.
Yeah, you don't need to tell me about it. Just get back in position. I'll resume 350. Okay, we'll use the turn to reset the last little bit. Flight, tack right, 180.
Roman 12.
Visual.
Same.
Okay, looking good. Dr. Tail, room 1 flight, checking in at the 5F Foxtrot. We are currently established in a cap, bullseye, standby. Bullseye 25494. And starting our training mission. Roman group bullseye 254-177. Roman commit. Flight tack right 270.
Roman 1-2.
Roman target single group. Visual.
Two visual.
Deploy. For the deploy, just take a 30-degree cutaway, and I'll resume 270. Roman, go gates. Just try to get on parameters, so let's head towards 30,000.
Remind me again, gates, is it full afterburner or is it mill power?
Full burner. Buster is mill.
Copy.
Roman 1-1, Roman 1-2 targeting single group.
Two is at 270.
Yeah, one's reserved.
Target is 15 degrees offset to my left.
Roger, let's offset left. Reference 240. Roman, single group, 55 miles. So at the 55-mile call, you now fly your own timeline, your own speed. Just make sure you're on shot parameter. One's out of gates. I'm just going to hold 0.95 until I'm a little closer. And one sorted right.
Two sorted left.
And Roman 1, Planscape. Keep forgetting that one. Flight Checkmaster AM takes that.
Roman 1-2, Fox 3, cranking south.
Make the Fox 3 call on the prime.
Roman 1-2, Fox 3, cranking to the south.
Roman 1-1, Fox 3.
Roman 1-2, people off to the east. Off to the southeast.
Roman 1-1, skate east. Pitbull, single group, north mid.
Roman 1-2, cold 090. Nose 090.
K2, again, plan re-attack in, and we'll go on my call.
2.
Roman, single group, bullseye, 253, 144. Roman 1-1 targeting single group. Correction, Roman 1-1-1-2 targeting single group. Roman 1-1's in right.
Roman 1-2 in left. Roman 1-2 Fox 3. Roman 1-2 Fox 3 cranking south.
Roman 1-1 Fox 3. Roman 1-1 skate east pitbull single group single time.
Roman 1-2 pitbull skating south, skating east.
Okay, 1 is 402 9.1.
2 is 402 8.9, 8.8.
Single group vanished. Roman 1-1-1-2 reset east. K2 reference speed 300 knots and back up to Angels 27.
2.
If you do a nice tack into me, that should close this gap and get you more or less where you need to be. Yeah, so just some quick brevity items. Remember, it's skate in the direction, pitbull, and whatever you shot at.
Yeah. I need to keep that in mind because I'm not used to called, especially when after I've pitbull basically. Never done that before. Calling out which man it was.
No sweat, bud. I know you're a little sleepy too, and I still make the errors, so just point it.
Cool.
Alright, reference heading 090, 300 knots, Angels 27.
Confirm sensor spread again.
Affirm back to sensor spread.
Oh, you're quite behind me.
I'd say just turn towards me, and even if you come under 5, that's okay. We'll reset the formation with a dig.
Yeah.
And Remember, in all our tactical formations, you want to be above or below me. You can be 1,000 feet, I don't really care. Just a little bit of a step.
Yeah, I'm at 26,000 at the moment.
Perfect, just throwing it out there. Okay, let's reference 300 knots and stand by for the in-place.
Say again, stand by for?
Well, we're going to do a turn back to the west.
A firm, just increasing speed to reference speed.
Yeah, no problem, just waiting for you to get there. Don't usually talk this much in combat, but I'm just keeping it active so you can keep up with me.
That's noise.
Okay, we'll set a joker state as 5.5 and a bingo of 3,000.
Copy 5.5 and 3,000.
And when able, update state.
State 8.2.
Flight in place left, 270.
2. And 2 visual.
Flight go Buster.
2.
Roman, 2 groups, leading edge, single group, bullseye 255, 172. Roman 1 commit. Roman 1-1, Roman 1-2, targeting single group. Flight check left, 255.
255.
Flight reference, 0.8 Mach. Check tapes, master arm.
How do I apply to that? Like, check, do I repeat?
Make sure you get your master arm set.
I mean, do I repeat, do I confirm that by something? That's what I'm trying to ask you.
No, you do not. You you don't answer it, it's just a statement.
Copy.
Again, at the TAC range, you can go ahead and fly whatever you need to get on parameter. But for now, we'll reference 255 and 0.8 Mach. And 1 sorted north.
2 sorted south.
Single group, 55 miles.
Roman 1-2, Fox 3, skating south.
Roman 1-1, Fox 3.
Roman 1-2, Pitbull south man, skating south. Off to the south.
Roman 1-1, skate east, Pitbull, single group, Northman. Two coming.
Say again?
Oh, you're already east, alright, good stuff. Single group maneuver. Roman 1-1-1-2, targeting single group opening. Single group vanished. Roman, standby reset. Reference 090 and 300 net. And 1 is pinching right.
2 is pinching left.
Roman reset east. 1 state is 5026.9.
2 is state 5026.7.
K2, I want you to jettison your inner pylons, because they are recycling themselves.
Confirm the 2 AMRAAMs under the jet.
Yeah, get the AMRAAMs off the wing.
Of the wing, affirm.
Attack my target.
Okay, that'll conclude the air-to-air portion of this flight.
What kind of reset do you want to do?
When we fence out, we'll go back to cruise, but for now, just set back up for the sensor spread.
Copy.
Range control, Roman 1 flights leaving to the east. And 1 is resuming 090.
You, just to make sure I understand, still sensor correct?
Yeah, it's still sensor spread.
Ah, copy. So I don't, increase my distance to you, and then I understood it wrongly.
It's okay, you're good. Back to sensor, 5 miles. Flight check left, 050.
2.
control, Roman 1 flights exiting, switching center. Flight switch button 9 on prime. Roman 1-1.
Roman 1-2. When doing the check turns with the sensor separation, is the purpose that how do we, get rid of the separation I have to you right now? Obviously, I need to turn. Do make it equal to a attack turn, basically?
So, yeah, I've got two options. In the check turn, you're going to become sucked, right? Break. As you can see now, you're sucked echelon. So I'm just going to maintain my formation. As a wing, I would maybe shackle and or get ahead of the turn to try to maintain that, but I need to speed up either way.
Yeah. Yeah, I got that, but I was trying to understand if there is this is how we do it.
It was probably a back turn on my. I could have done a 45 switch. It would have kept the geometry. It would have been nicer.
Alright, now I'm just trying to get more knowledge sucked out of you. If there is something smarter, you guys do. Like, yeah, this is how we do it, but maybe there is no such thing that, everyone does it this way, or so.
Let's talk about it more in the debrief.
Copy. Do I keep sensor trail? Sensor spread?
Stand by, fence up. One's fenced out, 6.4.
Two is fenced out, 6.9. So correction, 6.1.
Flight, what we'll do is we'll do a 45 towards the carrier. So we'll treat it like a tactical shackle. So just flight shackle left 330.
To confirm shackle left, I just turn left and you will turn right, basically, right?
I'll use your geometry to get us back in formation.
Copy. 2.
Well, that didn't work the way I wanted, oh well.
What was the intention? Is it like to be at... What formation did you have in mind over there?
Skip it, say your heading.
Heading 050.
No, your heading should be 330.
Alright. Okay.
Okay, that's why it didn't work.
Because I was 050 and then you said 45, I thought you mean like do a left turn 0, turn left 45 degrees basically.
No, I wanted us to 45 under 330. 45 being not the heading off, but it's a bad call. We'll talk about it in the debrief. Just 330, please.
Yeah.
Tango 1 is heading 121 for any height this time.
I'm trailing you at the moment.
Just head 330, do not turn.
Alright, copy, 330 it is.
Beaver, Bangor 1 radio check. Bang 1 gets left clear, thanks for the help so far.
It is at 330.
Okay, 2, you've got lead on the right. Take us into the boat, please.
I have not visual on you. Let's see, lead is on the left side. It says on my data link. I don't see you on the right either.
Yeah, let's take it easy on the long conversation. And just navigate, please. I'm on your 7 o'clock low on the rejoin. We are 60 miles from the carrier. Let's switch button 16.
Two's on 16. You want me to check us in?
Yes, please. Just do the verbal. We'll do Airboss on 1.
Yeah, no worries. Unit Marshal 302 holding hands with, correction, 316 holding hands with 302, marking Mom 150 for 51 at Angels 29, lowest state 5.5. I guess I'm still the lowest fuel state.
1 is 5.4.
Copy that. Alright, I see you above me right now, so do I please rejoin cruise right. And how do you guys do the BRC?
Well, Airboss will give it to us. Stand by.
Bingo. Bingo.
Alright, we'll start descending. I'm gonna come off the throttle and we'll do a 10-degree descent.
10 degree will not get you down in time, sir. You need.
Well, we need to be 2,010 miles prior, so I think it will do the job.
Rule of thumb for me, 40 miles we need to be below 20,000. At 30 miles below 10,000.
My rule of thumb, 10 degrees equals 1,000 feet for every mile. So we were like, yeah, I'm too tired to even think and give you the numbers. I think I am doing it correctly right now. We are 1,000 plus for that.
No problem, but it sounds like a good call. Whatever you used before, let's get us down.
Yeah.
I like it. What you said makes sense. It's just we were kind of fast. So.
Yeah, I agree. This is why I want to descend a little bit more than 10 degrees, so I can maybe I have 2 miles to kill my speed, basically.
Check.
2 is coming to the right a little bit. Check right.
Yeah, we're admin phase now, so just make your turns smooth and I'll follow. You don't need to talk about them. I'm just going to set the section and set Airboss and give you a BRC in a second.
Dude, I'm so tired. I can't figure out if we're coming. No, yeah. No, we are. Oh my god, I'm so tired. Trying to figure out the most basic thing. We're coming from the front of the boat. So basically, I can't figure out even this basic stuff right now.
Just focus.
Yeah.
Just getting down and do your hailer check.
Yeah. Go hailer check.
Altitude. Altitude.
Final bearing, or correction, BRC, what's reference 132? And I'll check it again in error mode.
I think it was 122, according to when we took off. Or maybe it's wrong.
Airboss turned the boat.
Copy.
And our CCZ frequency is button 1, so you can switch and just report cvw-10.
Yeah. Unit Marshal, CS10, state 5.2. Locking speed at 251.
Now you fly the circle and the commence any way you want, but you can expect me to collapse parade on the initial, okay?
Yeah, that's expected.
Roger. BRC 132.
Copy 132.
302, see you at 7. Flight push button 1 on prime.
Oh, sorry, I was already on that. I said see you at 10 and I already pushed button 1. I thought we were gonna do it, yeah, I don't know why I assumed I was lead, because usually the lead will push everyone in the flight at channel 1. If I'm guessing correctly, this is how we do it other places.
Yeah, we'll just do 1 full lap, and then we'll come back and commit.
Yeah. I wish my B-alt couldn't fight with me so much. It's very sensitive.
feeling good enough to brake at the bow, or you want to take a 1 mile above when we go into the...
No, I can also do shit hot brake, so I can do the shit hot brake. I'm used to it a couple of times.
You do whatever you like, just call the brake.
Confirm.
I was just giving you the option where you're a little sleepy.
Yeah, copy.
And where we're in a training flight, the lights will come off when we see you at 10.
Alright, copy, good to know.
Turn the lights off at 10 miles, if they're...
Alright, perfect, good to know.
Yeah, I didn't talk about it, so I just wanted to point it out. They chew us up at the boat if we have our lights on.
Yeah. Alright, we're gonna commence now. Once we're on the reciprocal heading, we'll start descending and we'll slowly, gradually punch the throttle forward, and we'll be doing a left turn gradually to the left. See you on deck. don't know the procedure for the Hornet ball. Yeah, it was. What was my number again? 316. 316 Hornet ball 4.4 VFA Eka.
Bingo. 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 Bingo.
302 Hornet ball 4.
Roger Bob. Nicely done.
Yeah, that's kind of high all the way in, but thank you.
Okay, I'm gonna stop recording now. It's been recording since we started, basically.